Hello, friend. Welcome. I'm Carlene Cadet Francois. I help busy professionals convert buildings into thriving assisted living in group homes throughout the state of Florida. If you are new here, welcome. Today, I'm excited to cover 5 reasons. You're probably like, what is up with her in the number five? I'm not sure. I happen to love that number five, okay? Today, we're going to cover 5 reasons to start an ALF assisted living business or group home in Florida in 2026. Number one, demand. Florida happens to be the number one state seniors pick when it comes to retiring. Yes, I know. Out of all of our states, we are the sunny state of Florida, and people pick Florida for retirement. That means not only we have a demand for seniors, for housings for seniors, our baby boomers who are aging into assisted living because they need assistance with activities of daily living, because finally they need our help, and finally we could show up and make them proud and make profits doing it. Just a little bit of stats, right? 28% of the population in Florida are seniors who are 60 and older. By 2030, 1 in 3 Floridians will be 60 and older. And we know that the industry is expected to be a $170 billion industry by 2034. So if you're in Florida, not only are the needs grave regardless of what state you're in, but if you're in the number one state for senior care, you want to get into this business, especially if you carry the heart of service. You love seniors, you love to care for seniors. You're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're an investor, you're someone who wants to make a difference. Number two, seniors need us, and now it's the time to set up so you can serve them and you can make a difference and you can change your life while changing their lives. It is a win win situation. I am telling you, managing when you find yourself serving someone who used to be our teachers, our police officers, our judges, our people in Congress, people who made a difference. And now you have the opportunity to make a difference for them. It is so rewarding. And to think how much money you can make doing that, changing your own life while you're changing their lives is so rewarding. Number three, besides the rewards, you have the opportunity and the ability to create generational wealth. You know, I like to quote Bible scriptures sometimes, and I don't always remember where the scripture is. But even in the Bible, it talks about how a wise man leaves wealth for the next generation. Now, don't quote me on that, but you get the concept, right? So, leaving something for the next generation is something that we didn't invent, it is something that God Himself invented. And caregiving gives you the opportunity to create a business that you can pass on, especially if you properly systemize that business. If you own the real estate asset and then you combine it with the business of caregiving, with the demand and what is expected to be by 2030, you are putting yourself in position to really change your life while you make this difference. How many positions that we can say that about? To be able to create generational wealth, to be able to be in full control of your income, in your time. Nowadays, living in the age that we're living now, we used to be able to find a government job and be secure. You know, that is out the window. That is no longer the truth. We used to be able to find a job in a hospital, a job in a police department. Trust me, it is not dependable anymore. And when you are in charge of your own income, you know you're not going to go to work and someone is taking your badge because you made a mistake, or someone is telling you budget cuts, we can't pay you anymore, or someone is telling you, you can't have this employment anymore because you, for whatever reason, maybe they don't like your hair color anymore. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but the idea is once you have the opportunity to be in control of your own income, your own time, it is priceless. It is truly what God created us to be. No one was supposed to go out and find us a paycheck, but you have to start somewhere. And if you have the opportunity to change that, I highly recommend that you do, especially if it involves making a difference in senior care like it does. Number four, tax benefits. So imagine if you are someone who owns the real estate asset and now you created a business. Of course, I'm not a CPA, but you can talk to your CPA about this, but there are so much tax benefits for running an ALF. You're running a business, all of those deductions that you can have, real estate appreciation and tax deferred tax strategies, and also being able to let increase value of your real estate, the flexibility to tap into that value of the property, whether you want to pull money from the property, a line of credit, uh, to buy another business, to get into another. You have so many options with that increased real estate value that you could start another business if you choose to. Of course, you're going to be responsible about it, but if you wanted to grow your business, I've seen people get lines of credit to start their ALFs from one property, sometimes even to buy another property, put that down as a down payment for another business, another ALF business, or any other business that you choose to get into. People use that to get SBA loans. And of course, with the SBA loan, there are different qualifications criteria. We did have a video on this subject. You might want to take a look at that one. People use these strategies to expand. Most people get into this business, they open one ALF, they get their feet wet, and they realize, wow, and then they open another one. So having these strategies allows you to have option. And we know most people fail because of lack of education and lack of options. And having an ALF business or group home business here in Florida allows you to be able to have more options. Number five is control of your time. Yes, we know that there are different types of ways of getting into the business. If you choose to get into the business with a typical 6 to 8 bed ALF, you are an owner operator. But even as an owner operator, where you have staff working for you, but you are the administrator, you're involved in the business, one way or another, you're part of the business. And you still have time flexibility because even when you manage, you're not going to end up going to your ALF every day. And when you do go, if you put those structures in place, I did a video earlier. I did a video on um, mindset shifts for a thriving CEO uh, running a care business. I did a training on uh, 5 mindset strategies for caregiving CEOs. You might want to take a look at this video. And especially if you put those things in place, and now you have trained staff who knows what to do. You have people who are making decisions. You have an efficient, effective business. You can take time off. And then what you can then turn around and do is you can have relationships with other administrators in your area. Find one, usually it's one. I look out for you when you go on vacation. You look out for me when I go on vacation. If something happens, you're going to go for me. When you go, I'll do the same for you. You develop a relationship. You can take time off. And you can even choose to hire an administrator temporarily to run your duties so you can take time off in peace. And You can choose to put people in place to replace you if you need time off for whatever the reason is. So you have time flexibility, is what I'm saying. Because if you don't want to do the work, you can put the right person in place to do it temporarily. You can temporarily put the right person in place to do it, and you have that time flexibility. You're not begging for a day off. And I think for me, that is priceless. I think our biggest treasure is our time, because we act like we're living forever, but we all know that we're not going to live forever, and we don't even know when God is going to pull that plug. So it's just like we're walking around as if we're living forever, but we're not. But if you're going to be time conscious about your time, you realize if you open a caregiving business, you're providing care, you're making an income, and you have control over your time, your schedule, over your income. I think it's priceless. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, I'm Carlene Cadet Francois. I help busy professionals convert buildings into thriving assisted living and group homes. We specialize in Florida licensing rules. If you want to work with us, we have all type of programs. We have the Thriving Circle community, where I go live monthly and educate my audience about specific strategies they need to implement, and also answer whatever questions that they may have. It's the most one-on-one coaching that you can get with me without having to pay the one-on-one fees, the one-on-one investments. Also, I host monthly master classes. You can check my website to learn more. They cover things like what to do as as a newly licensed ALF, how to bring in clients, how to maintain relationships um, between the residents, the staff, ACA portals, all type of things like that that helps you to succeed, and you don't have to guess. Check the link in the description. You will learn more about this. And until next time, if you feel called to work with me, you'll find ways that you'll find a whole bunch of opportunities to work with me in the description. Until next time, if you found this video helpful, please consider to like, subscribe, and to share it with a friend and someone that will find it valuable. I'll see you in the next one.